How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Romero. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be talking UFC 317, but before we do, I want to remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. We're almost at 16,000, but it can only happen with y'all's help. And also, if you don't like watching, if you like listening, you got other options, right, Will?
Yeah, if you just want audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. We live stream on Twitch, but YouTube's probably the best spot out of all of the above because you get to see our ugly mugs. We're going to be showing fight clips. We're going to be talking about Topuria, his knockout. We're going to be talking about the RoboCop knockout. We're going to get to watch those together if you're on YouTube. So if you're not watching this live and you're coming to this after the fact, there's timestamps down below. You can skip directly to those knockouts if you want to see them. Otherwise, if you are watching live, jump in the chat because you get to be part of the show and bring up things that maybe we missed or talk shit to us. Either way, it's fun.
Either way, we love the engagement. So
Yeah.
bring it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right. Will, we got a lot to unpack here, man. I say we just get started. UFC 317. We had Topuria versus Oliveira. Going into this, Will, I told you we messaged plenty of times, and I said, if my boy Oliveira loses, I'm going to be devastated, heartbroken, gut-wrenched.
Yeah. And then do we want to see real quick before we even get into it? Do we want to see what happened?
Let's do
Were
it.
you gut-wrenched?
I mean, why not?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's watch. Oh, boy. Okay, here we
So
go.
Ilya stabs him to the body, stabs him to the head, and then bam, 3-punch combination, drops him out cold, hammer fists. I mean, goddamn, under 3 minutes in the first round.
Look, going into this, Topuria said, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. We know guys talk about, these predictions on a regular basis. Before Mystic Mac, it was rare when people would predict the right outcome. Topuria came in, man, and said, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. Like, not just,
I think he even said under 3 minutes.
Oh, my God, that's scary, dude. So, all right, let's
Shout
get
out
into
Pepper.
it.
Thanks for joining.
Hey, what up, Pepper? But, yeah, so you have Oliveira, considered one of the most durable guys in the division, right? He's fought Michael Chandler. He's fought Justin Gaethje, who hit very hard. He gets clipped on each one of those fights. But it's like, it's normal, right? It's Oliveira doing Oliveira things. And the other thing is if he gets clipped, these fighters are also crazy if they want to get into a grappling match with Oliveira because he's so dangerous, not just jiu-jitsu in general. He's so dangerous off his back, right?
Yes.
So a lot of times he gets clipped, he invites people coming in. He wants them going in like that. He has no problem with that.
Like Verdum used to do. Verdum used to do that a lot.
Yes.
Nogueira used to do that a decent amount too.
You'd be throwing boomerangs, inviting people onto his guard. Like he would do that all the time. But yeah, Topuria saw something in the film. Him and his team saw something in the film. Because from the very beginning of the fight, as soon as Oliveira would enter, even just a little bit, he would throw that right hook extremely hard. So he knew Oliveira, when entering, leaves his chin up in the air just a tad bit, enough for me to be able to clip him, right? Oliveira came in with some heavy leg kicks right off the bat. And I was like,
body
okay,
kicks.
This is a part of his game plan. He's a bigger man. He has a longer range. He's probably going to want to stay within that distance because Topuria has those very nice and tight hooks, right? And, man, there was a part where Oliveira clinches Topuria, puts him up against the cage, and I was like, okay, this is good. Yeah, he's trying to trip him, but also he's the bigger man. He's fighting like the bigger man. He's making this very hard for Topuria. Don't give Topuria any room for that power. But, I mean, you can only do that so long before you get clipped by Topuria, huh?
Well, I think it's like so. Yeah, so we can go through the fight. Hey, shout out Ghost. Thanks for joining. He said, I seem to have offended people by animating the knockout in 2 hours. Are people really sad about this fight? Look, Oliveira's loved.
I love Oliveira.
Loved. And I know everybody going into this knew this was a very real outcome and probably the most likely outcome. but everyone was hoping that it wouldn't be the outcome. A lot of people were hoping it wouldn't be the outcome just because they love Oliveira. He's been in exciting fights, win or lose, right? And a fun championship reign. And then he became like legendary with the champ has a name, that whole drama that like sometimes fighters need a moment like that to just like a ton of people jump on the train. It's like a part of a movement getting behind a guy. But like you said, Oliveira opens up heavy leg kicks, nice snap front kicks to the body, which is something that everybody's been asking for to see, because there's a lot of questions. Some of the most interesting fights are the fights that going into it we have questions about, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how's Topuria's power going to translate at 155? We've seen guys go up a weight class and all of a sudden they don't hit as hard because the bigger guys can take those shots a lot better.
Yes.
They can absorb them, right? How's the strength how he's gonna deal with the strength? But one of the biggest things that people have been seeing in Topuria's game, it's not like people have had a ton of success against him, but one thing that people have been thinking is spamming kicks against this guy might be worth your while. The Jai Herbert fight everybody points to, he got hurt with the high kick in that one. He's heavy on his lead leg because he's so boxing focused, right? He's heavy. He transitions a lot forward to land his big shots. He feints a lot on his lead leg. So if you can crack him on the lead leg, maybe that's an opening. Body shots, right? Bang up those arms so his arms are heavier. There's a lot of things that people wanted to see utilized against Ilia. And Charles started the fight doing those things that people were calling for, or at least hoping to see, how does Ilia deal with this? We've seen him deal with this. How does he deal with this? And kind of with flying colors, and not like, I'm not saying Oliveira executed those things perfectly, but he showed them, and we got to see at least how Ilia addresses those.
No, I don't like this picture.
Look at Mark Goddard, dude.
Goddard, dude, just sprinting from the other side of the octagon. And Topuria with his fist ready, dude, about to just lay down to the biggest hammer fist from Spain. And Topuria, Goddard just knows it's about to happen. Look at his face.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no.
Fuck, dude. So nasty. But like you said, or Ghost, let's see, real take now. Topuria didn't need to use his pressure footwork because Oliveira was moving forward and wanted the exchanges. Yes. And that's all Oliveira's, all gas, no brakes, forward, offense, right?
And this is what I pointed out earlier. Every single time Oliveira would blitz in, Topuria would throw that right hook.
Meet him.
Right away, as soon as he'd come in, right? Like he was just waiting for that clash. And he didn't land cleanly on those first ones. There was one where I think he hit him like on top of the head. But
he grazed him over the eyebrow, cut him open.
Man. But it
wasn't like he wobbled him.
Dude. No.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Ilia. Unless you're Josh Emmett, it is just a matter of time.
It's breaking my heart.
I'm sorry. Ugh. But one thing that the other thing is, how's he going to deal with the size difference, right? At lightweight, and we saw Charles, very good clinch game. He trips a lot of guys. He crashes in, and ultimately, I think that was his downfall in that exchange. Is he crashes into you, hoping to get the clinch so that he can maybe toss a knee up your way, hit you with a trip or something like that. But like you said, we saw him clinch wrestle with Oliveira for a bit. Oliveira tries to hit a sweep on him or a trip on him, and Ilia just out muscles him and takes him down off of it. And you're like, oh fuck! And obviously,
that lower base, dude, and the strength.
Exactly. Yeah, the lower base is big. And yeah, Pepper says, isn't this the guy who moved up? Yes. He was the 145-pound champ, and then he goes up to 155 for the belt here. And Go says, the front kick was working well. I still think that is a huge key if you're fighting Topuria, is that front kick to the body. Really good.
The crazy thing about Topuria, though, I mean, he's been saying for the longest time that he's this good, right? At a certain point, we had to accept it because of the way that he was winning, who he was beating. But it's not just that he's beating them; it's how he's doing it, which is insane.
It is. I mean, knocking out Volkanovski, Holloway, and then Oliveira. It's like I saw Luke Thomas said last night, Ilia fights like a Terminator sent from the future to kill all your favorites. And I was like, oh my god.
That was like Manny Pacquiao for me as I was growing up, dude. He was. Oh, man.
Yeah. Go says Topuria doesn't have a lot of weapons, but he's able to adapt it to different opponents. Honestly, his scouting is brilliant, and I rarely say that about people. Yeah, it's a fairly reserved game he has. It's not like he's not Yair Rodriguez out there throwing these crazy creative strikes that you don't expect. He's like steak and potatoes, but
But he's so good at it.
but not from Outback. He's like a 5-star Michelin star restaurant steak and potatoes. You know what I mean? Like it's a nuanced.
Not Outback. Dude, Outback has a good steak.
It's okay, you know. It's okay. Hey, when Josh Emmett lands his overhand, I'm like, that's cool. You
That's
know?
an Outback steak. Yeah,
That's an Outback
for
steak
sure.
right there. But when Topuria
Well,
is
it's
out
out
there, and
for
he's
most people, yeah. You know?
yeah. But man, I mean, he's so good, dude. He is so good, and it's like when they have events like these, when the UFC tries and they put together a card with exciting fights and interesting matchups, not just matchups where you're like, I know there's going to be a finish in this matchup because it's a guy off the Contender Series who probably should still be in the regionals versus this guy who we know is good. Like, yeah, those stack up these cards with finishes and it's like exciting to watch in the moment. But these fights where they have so much anticipation of like, well, Oliveira actually does bring some threats to Puria's game that we haven't seen him really deal with, and the weight class that there's questions. When there's questions going into a fight, and then we get those answers, that's the best part of this sport, dude. That's like when this sport is at a high for me. Is well, how is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? And then it's just like crossing these things off the list, and he's passing them with flying
So
colors.
crazy, dude.
It's
So crazy.
crazy, man.
And props to Ilia Topuria, comes in and does exactly what he said he was going to do. Now,
Yeah.
the lightweight division is looking insane now. When you
And,
think
and
about all the different possibilities.
ugh, bro, I'm not happy about some things about this. I get it. I think it's a messy business, but and there's matchups I want to see Ilya fight at light heavyweight, but the Islam fight is the fight we want. At least for me, I would love to see that fight now that he's the champ too. But it's like they did you see who was it? Was it Umar or Usman was talking about how Hunter Campbell came to Russia basically to talk to Islam to tell him
To
to
move
move
up.
up and vacate to make room for Ilya instead of making that matchup. And now we're in this position where Ilya's belt's gone, or Islam's belt's gone. Ilya's 145-pound belt is gone. We're gonna do Islam versus Jack Della up a weight class, but it's like no, that's the fight. It's like 145-pound champ just Volk. He got the belt, beating a guy who isn't the guy who took the belt from him, and
Yeah.
then we have Ilya now fighting Oliveira for the vacant belt. It's not like he took it off of Islam, so there's like it's like bittersweet for me where this moment is so cool and it's a great fight and all this stuff. And even like Ilya said in the face off where he came up, he's like, "I'm sorry it had to be you," and you're like, "Fuck!" Like this could have been worked out a little bit better. And now we have these three kind of potential fights for Ilya at lightweight, and none of them are Islam. That kind of sucks a little bit, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'm excited to see those fights, but it's like, man, what's
Sam
Islam
H, by
fight?
the way, shout out Sam H. Thanks for joining us. Not to be confused with Sam A.
Yeah.
But yes, Ilya's body type and his kinetic energy he generates from his stance to the hips, then through to his hands is perfect. Very little waste. When he hits these guys, it's good night. That's exactly what we're talking about right now, right? The meat and potatoes. He doesn't have a lot to it, but what he does do, he's able to generate so much power. It's who was it that was texting me earlier? Dom Walsh. Shout out my buddy Dom Walsh. He just texted me Topuria, and I said, dude, it's just freakish power that he has and that he's able to generate. It's crazy.
And the way he sets up the traps to funnel you into like his game, like he corrals people into landing these shots that aren't like unexpected shots. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's throwing, like I said, it's not like a spinning back fist out of nowhere, or like a flying knee. It's like he's methodically trapping you to land these standard punches
Do
that
you
just
think that
put you out cold.
to a certain extent, Oliveira maybe had a little too much confidence in his ability to take a shot? Like he's taken some huge shots from some of these other big fighters. Do you think that that was part of it? And he was like, you know what? I'm going to go in,
No.
bite down on my mouthpiece. I'm going to be able to take this shot. No?
I don't think so. I think that's Oliveira's A game is blitz, 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 smash you in the clinch with knees, basically joust you with these long punches as I crash into you. and that's his A game, and it works for him against big punchers. So I don't think it's like an overconfidence thing. I think it's just, this is what I do best. Let's see if my best beats you,
So now, let's say this happens. Dustin fights Max Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins, Holloway or Poirier, they think, okay, maybe the winner of this. What if Poirier gets a title shot after this? Do you think he sticks around?
If Dustin beats Max, I think they probably do try to angle for Ilia versus Dustin, which is a crazy fight. That's a crazy fight, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
one of the biggest fights in the last 5 years, I think.
Yeah, and it's so wide open. They're talking about maybe doing Gaethje. They're not doing Arman because I don't know what the fuck Arman did when he pulled out of that fight, but something behind the scenes happened where they're just like, fuck this, dude. He's the backup for this fight, makes weight. And even now, Dana's like, he's not next. And you're like, what? And they're doing Paddy Pimblett in the cage. Like, what the fuck is going on? And Gaethje's talking about, I'm not going to fight again unless it's a title shot. And you're like, what is happening?
Yeah. It's a hot mess, huh? It's a hot
mess. Islam's up at 170. They haven't even booked the fucking fight. That might even happen. They might be like, you know what, Islam? Never mind. You're coming back. Like, who knows?
And he's like, wait, you took my belt.
Yeah,
that's my belt. Like, I'm going in as the challenger? What? Yeah. Oh, my God. Man. Just so much craziness going on.
Go says, make the sport sillier. If Islam beats JDM, have him fight Topuria to hold up 2 divisions. I mean... Yeah, I think. And shout out Austin. Austin's in the chat. Working summer camp. Still think Topuria is a total tool, but but his hands are nasty. My dream matchup on my brain is him versus Christian Lee. Oh man.
Thanks for joining us again, though, Austin. Even if it's for a little bit, he always comes through, huh?
Yeah, enjoy summer camp. Summer camp can be fun, right?
For sure.
But man, to knock out Volkanovski with a right hook. Knock out Max Holloway with a left hook, and then knock out Oliveira with a 3-punch combination is just fucking crazy. That's a crazy run, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's UFC, one of the best runs that I can think of. One of the best.
And I saw someone else ask, like, is this better than, like, Conor's run? And you're like, I don't know, because, like, the feeling isn't quite there, right? Because the hype that was so larger than life with Conor. But if you look at like who he
Conor
beat,
had an entire country showing up to his fights.
They also had Dana White promoting him, where they're like really not promoting Topuria the way they should be. They asked about a stadium in Spain again at the press conference, and Dana's like, "Yeah, it's not an option." And you're like, "Oh, okay." Like, what do you mean? And then you're not even gonna pretend to entertain it. You're just like, "Nah, shut that down." Like, what? Baffling promotion lately. They also, someone else asked him, Jean Silva is fighting soon. He's on a crazy run. He's fighting Diego Lopez, right, at Noche. And they're like, if he wins that, is he the next big thing? What's up with John Silva? He's jumping in the crowd. People love him. And Dana's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. You're like, dude, that's a T. They'd set him up on a T for you to promote a savage in your roster. And you're just like, yeah, we'll see what he does. Like, what are you doing, dude? Be like, yeah, if he beats him, it's off to the fucking races. That guy's a madman. Like, sell the guy,
Yeah.
And that's why you could argue that this run is different or worse than Conor, because they put the marketing. And yeah, obviously Conor did a lot of heavy lifting with the promotion and all that stuff. That was like unheralded, right? But the UFC put the marketing machine behind him, and we got this crazy run that was like larger than anything we'd seen in a long time. They can do that with Ilia right now. He's knocking out legends. Like Luke Thomas said, he's the Terminator sent from the future to kill all your favorites. Like, they should be the machine should be behind this guy. And it could be. There's no favorable matchmaking that Ilia has gotten on his rise. Like, there was things with Conor's rise where you're like, Dennis Siver, really? What about Frankie Edgar? Like, there was things where you're like, clearly they're navigating this path for him, or they're building this path for him. And he did what he had to do on that path.
With flying colors, for sure.
Yeah. But there was things where we're like, really, he's getting Aldo already instead of doing it? Like, what? And he knocks him out, right? But and you're like, no immediate rematch for Aldo, but some of these other guys get immediate rematches. It was clearly that they put the machine behind Conor, and he worked with them. He drove it. Ilya's not really getting that. he's going through the best of the best of the best. There's no favorable matchups that he's getting. You can look at it in hindsight, like, oh, he fought Ryan Hall and Bryce Mitchell sucks, all this stuff. But dude, like, they're not making this easy for him. And I know I've heard from people in the know the UFC do not like dealing with him, and they're very petty, and they're probably holding that against him. I don't know where I'm going with this, but this could be so much bigger, and it's big.
You're saying that he could be a bigger star than what he is right now.
100%. Probably by design, he's not. I think it's by design because, and that with that being said, the UFC posted like the whole fight on YouTube, like a few hours after the main event ended, and it's a pay-per-view, big international fight week pay-per-view. They put the whole fucking thing on YouTube. That's crazy. Crazy. There's something there. At least they're doing that, that's big, but.
Hey, real quick though, Pepper said, as a Muay Thai fighter, my answer is to punch a heavy guy is a long guard. Is a long guard not common in MMA? If so, any reason for that? It seems like would have worked wonders for that other guy, for Oliveira.
Yeah, long guard's good, but if you watch, and I'm not gonna say that like Max Holloway was using the long guard necessarily, but the way Ilia fought Volkanovski and Max, and obviously Max is longer than Volk. But they both kind of use that framing to get away, and those are some of the traps that Ilia does sometimes, where he'll draw those looks out from you and then punch around that, and that's how he knocked out. If you watch the knockout of Max, his arms are completely outstretched, long guard, and he just goes right over the top and snipes him. So like, yes, and maybe it could have been even better for a taller guy like Charles, but the other thing too is Charles. Part of his blitz is his defense, because he's kind of he fights tall, and if he's framing and stuff, his head's even up even higher. And I think it would have been hard to even say this considering the results, but it could have been worse for him if he was fighting like tall, like he normally does, you know.
Sam H thinks Aryukian versus Gaethje is the price Armin has to pay for pissing off the company.
Yeah, but then Gaethje's over here saying, "I'm not going to fight unless it's a title shot. I don't need to fight again."
Evie
just won a Ferrari.
Boys. Good morning, Evie. Good morning. Thanks for joining us again. We also have Sam H asking about the pound-for-pound rankings, whether we actually care for them. For me, it's not really a big deal at all. I think it's just more for the fans. It's, if you're an Ilia Topuria, if you're a John Jones, and you're ranked up amongst the top of the pound-for-pound, maybe it means something to them, right? Just to be able to say that. But pound-for-pound, I rarely pay attention to that.
Pound for pound historically was created just to sell fights for smaller guys who weren't draws.
Yeah.
And they were like, if this guy was bigger, he'd be beating your favorites. And then that's how it started. So it's literally a marketing tool.
And then Ghost saying, serious now, Justin Gaethje pre-Dustin would have been insane against Topuria.
Oh, I know, dude. Because his leg kicks, like, dude, oh my God. It would be so sick.
Yeah, it would have been sick. All right. Anything else
Evie says didn't watch the main card, but thank fucking God the prelims had some good fights. I feel like UFC has been an absolute disaster for weeks. Yes, this was a huge return to form, and people are treating this card like it was this massive, like, wow, they stacked it. And it's like, this is kind of what it used to be all the time. This wasn't like a inherently special card on paper, This was just a good standard UFC card that delivered, and that's just kind of what they used to do all the time. It's just in these past recent years, we've been getting what we've been getting.
All right. Anything else about Topuria versus Oliveira before we move on?
No, but goddamn, I cannot wait to see how they navigate this entanglement they've put themselves in with all these matchups.
Yeah, well, it will all unravel here soon, man. And we're already about 30 minutes in, as expected, with this main event that we had a lot to cover on, right? But these fights should go a little bit faster. We had Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France leading into, not sure who was annoying me more. Can't stand that little thing that Kai Kara-France does when he sticks his tongue out. Just drives me insane. No, I can't stand it. It annoys the shit out of me. And then Alexandre Pantoja walking with the shades on. And, well, you know what they say about people wearing sunglasses inside. DC said it best. There's only two kinds of people that wear sunglasses indoors. One, blind people. Or two, you're just an asshole. Right?
Damn. How you gonna do Pantoja like that?
But look, dude, Pantoja.
It's not just the sunglasses though. It's the camera. It's the camera glasses. So he has a sick ass video of his walkout from his point of view. I think that's
really? Cool. It's the metas.
Yeah.
You know what? Pass. I'll give him a pass for that one.
Hey.
I'll give him a pass. All right. Yeah. But dude, Pantoja just looks better and better and better in every fight. I'm not gonna lie. Going into this one, I wasn't super excited about the fight. I'm not a huge Kai Kara France. I know that you really enjoy Kai Kara France, but I also think that there's a big delta between the two, between Alexandre Pantoja and Kai Kara France. I thought to myself, this is going to be an easy out for Alexandre Pantoja, and he dominated the entire fight.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I know some people were saying like, "Oh, Kai Kara France, had good like anti-wrestling and things like that. Maybe he'll be able to stay away from the grappling of Pantoja and crack it because he does hit hard, right? Especially for flyweight." Even with that, dude, these guys fight 10 times. Maybe once Kai cracks him or something. It's not like he has to defend against like regular wrestling takedowns from Pantoja. Pantoja just needs to get a hold of you. You just give him like an inch of your back and he snatches that shit. It is crazy to watch him do this consistently.
I think you messaged that, right? Like best back taker?
Maybe the best back taker I've ever seen in MMA. It's getting to that point where you're like, dude, it's crazy. He just needs a second of your back and he'll drag your ass down and take it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. His crab ride ability is fucking nuts, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah, but so
he did it up against the fucking fence.
Yeah.
In the final round.
That was crazy. Was crazy. He takes Kai Kara France in the first round with 4 minutes left, I believe it was.
Dude, the cannibal just blitzed at him.
Props to Kai Kara France for surviving the full 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And Pantoja, I want to say it was a minute left where he realized, okay, I might not get this guy out in this round right now. So he just starts punishing the body, going up top, back down to the body, up top, back down to the body, staying active. Second round, Pantoja started doing this thing where he started finishing his combos off with the right calf kick, right? Which I really loved.
Really cool.
1, 2, boom, calf kick.
Yeah.
1, 2, boom, calf kick. Did that a few times.
Which set up a sick ass trip. I think it was in the final round where he just runs at him and his pressure and the avalanche of the punches that he was throwing into that combination into the low kick just completely took out his base and he just ran right through him.
And it was like he was like almost surprised by it because he blitzed him, like just coming at him. And like you just see his eyes open up wide. He's like, oh my God. He just falls back.
It reminded me of all those like little trips and stuff that like Piotr Jan will do where he'll like, and John Jones will do it too, where you'll reach past and then just hook that outside leg and just push you right over it.
Yes.
It was like that, but with actual punches and kicks. Fucking awesome.
Dude, so good, man. But again, takes us back. I want to say that Kai Kara France was holding on to Pantoja's left wrist and he let go for like a split second, I think.
Well, he pulled it down like 3 times.
He just punched it through.
Oh, you're talking about the choking arm. My bad.
The choke arm. No, the choke arm, right? Mm-hmm. And once he actually did have the choke, he did pull the arm down about 3 times. Yeah. But then the last one, man, the squeeze was so tight. He had no other option but to tap.
Look at the bend that he's putting on his frame, like his spine. Like
spinal.
It's spinal. But eventually, like you can fight the hand like that, but if you're getting twisted up like that, dude, it gets harder and harder to reach back to pull that hand down if you're outstretched like that. But man, the back take that led to this one, him hitting the crab ride with his back basically against the fence. I don't know if I've ever seen that. It was so fucking cool, dude. Amazing. And that was after I had already texted you he's the best back taker I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. It was. but Will, what now for Alexandre Pantoja?
Well, they did it. They already set it up, and we can use this
Transition?
as a segue.
Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Segue
so now,
time.
Next,
this picture too.
We're gonna cover
Fucking respect on Pantoja.
Royval versus Van, and holy smokes, fight of the night, fight of the month, fight of the year. Like something's really going to have to somehow beat this fight as fight of the year.
Yeah, you could say like, oh, if you want the technical fight of the year, it's probably Merab versus Nurmagomedov, right? Which is great. That was a cool fight. I really loved it. But man, if you want to appease the Just Bleed gods, this might have set us up for the rest of the year to deliver because the gods are smiling down. What a fucking banger, dude.
Oh
I mean,
my
just
God.
nonstop. And I mean, when they booked this fight, when Josh Van took this on short notice, and don't forget, he got a knockout 3 fucking weeks ago on another big pay-per-view card, and then steps in on short notice to fight fucking Brandon Royval, #1 in the division.
Rising star, this Van.
Yeah, and Van just fucking game as hell. It's a win-win basically. If he loses this fight, whatever.
Exactly.
But instead, he's not just showing up. He's not resting on that. It's not like, well, even if I lose this, it's not a big deal. I'll just take the fight. Dude, this guy came for fucking war. With a broken toe, he comes into this fight, and you know it's a good matchup because Josh Van loves to fight in the pocket. And you're like, well, Brandon Royval's so long for the division, and he does throw a lot of jabs and kicks and stuff like that. Maybe he'll be able to stick and move and keep him away and not allow Josh Van to get into those pocket exchanges where he excels so much. But then you're like, wait a second, Brandon Royval is an avalanche in his own right.
Yep.
Similar to kind of Oliveira, who just fucking all gas, no brakes. His defense is his offense. So he is going to meet him in the pocket eventually.
When you have somebody with the hand speed, a Van, right?
Yeah, dude.
And, dude, his boxing is so crisp. So good. And I know that there's a few exchanges that got wild, but overall, as you're watching this, right, and Royval steps in heavy with that jab, right? It's
Over and over.
And so Van's ability to slip that quickly and landed that left hook, the counter left hook, he landed that a few times. In that first round, I was like,
times.
Yeah.
No joke.
That first round, I was like, man, that's Van's round easily.
And like you said, it was the activity from Royval. He was throwing, but Van's just out of range on a lot of those shots. And then when he would overstep just a little bit, he would capitalize on it immediately. Like, found his range immediately. He's landing these big shots as Royval gets stuck. It's like he got so used to just throwing. He was never exiting. And yeah, shout out Jasmine, says fight of the year for sure, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But we rarely look at the numbers in fights because ultimately the stats don't really tell the story, right?
Yep.
But Royval threw 115 punches or strikes in that first round alone. He landed 42. Most people land like 10, 15, 20 strikes a round. He landed 42. Josh Van landed 52, outstruck him, only threw 79.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. 65% accuracy compared to 36 because Royval, and that's part of the game with Royval. He's going to throw a lot. He's going to miss a lot. He still ended up landing 42 fucking strikes. But Josh Van throws, 20, 30 strikes less than him and outstrikes him, lands more.
That's crazy.
I mean, he immediately found his range. His timing was perfect. And yeah, I mean, it was sick. But then a great rebound. The second round from Royval was very good. I really liked the second round.
That jab started landing a little bit more. He started doubling up on the jab in some cases.
Then he would start opening with the left hand.
Yes, he starts opening with the left hand. The left hand started landing.
Yeah, southpaw orthodox matchup, the rear hand.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There's still a few times that Van landed, but at this point, they're both landing enough to where both of them have their nose that's bleeding. Van starts ripping to the body a little bit more in the second round as well. Mm-hmm. But coming out of this, I thought to myself, okay, that round could have been Royval's.
Yes. I thought Royval easily took the second round. It wasn't a dominant round or anything, but I thought he bounced back. And you're like, oh man, how's Josh Van gonna? Because
Rich, keep it on this picture for a sec.
But yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. When you're fighting an avalanche style fighter like Royval or I hate to say it, Colby Covington, Usman in his prime, the guys who don't stop and they get started, good luck getting off your back foot type guys. If they take a swing round, if they lose the first round, but then they take the second, good fucking luck climbing that mountain and winning the third.
Yeah. Well, let me put
to go back to the number.
Okay, you're gonna go back to the numbers, and then after that, I want to put that on a tee for you, so we can move into the third, and you can explain what happens.
Yes. So second round, first round 42 strikes landed for Royval, 52 for Josh Van. Second round, 87 strikes landed for Royval. He threw 174 strikes in the second round alone.
Volume.
Josh Van, 74. So it's not like he got outclassed by the Avalanche. He was meeting him there every single time.
Yes.
I mean, he only landed like 10 strikes less than him. I mean, these guys just
We
nonstop.
get the third round, Will, and we always talk about the fighters that have the ability to make the adjustments mid-fight, right? And so we continue seeing the same forward pressure from Royval, but what changed?
Yeah, so like I said, Royval started landing his rear hand a lot more in the second round, which is obviously going to be it's a more powerful punch. And one of the things you can do because if they're open stance matchup like they are in this picture, Van's orthodox, Royval's southpaw, that rear hand weapon and even the rear leg is going to be more devastating, and you can slot it in. Like the slot is there for it. So one of the things you can do is if someone starts landing their power hand, their rear hand in an open stance matchup, if you attack the lead leg, even with inside low kicks, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but you can disrupt the guy. And if you're someone like Royval who's constantly go, 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 if you start attacking that lead leg and kick it out from under him, look at Superleg versus Takeru for like a perfect example of this, where Superleg's just blasting with inside leg kicks, and it's just every time he steps in to throw his rear hand, his lead leg gets, you step down in your lead leg, it gets kicked, you're off balance now. Van says, fuck the inside leg kick. I know that doesn't do a ton of damage. All it does is disrupt. He starts fucking stomping on the lead leg every time Royval would crash into him. And once he landed the first time, I was like, oh, that's fucking slick. Because it takes him off balance.
Yep.
And then the next time Royval steps in to throw, he does it again. And it takes him off balance again. And you're like, oh, shit, that's good. And then he basically knocks him down with it. He literally kills his leg at one point, stomping on it. And Royval's like, well, fuck, I have to now I have to adjust how I'm entering because I'm getting fucking stifled every time I come in.
Yep.
And that's almost impossible to do when you're needing to do that to address something that he just adjusted.
Yep.
Like Josh Van adjusted to the way Royval was entering in that second round with this stomp. And now it's on Royval to recognize that and then adapt to that. Good fucking luck. In a dogfight like this?
The hand speed too, because there's so many times that Van landed that, and like you said, gets Royval off balance, and while he's off balance, he's landing a 3-shot combo.
Bop, 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 bop. It's crazy, man.
So not only is he keeping him off balance and keeping himself safe, he's also
capitalizing,
inflicting damage. So for your Royval, you're like, shit. Like not only am I having a hard time entering, but now I'm having a hard time entering, and I'm eating 2 or 3 shots every single time I try.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just a fantastic fucking. Everyone always goes to the body shots of the Stipe versus Cormier adjustment, right? Where all of a sudden he's like, oh, the mummy guard, he's open to the body, he starts digging those body shots. He hurts DC real bad with that. That's a mid-fight adjustment. That's like a lot of people's go-to. This might be my new go-to adjustment, mid-fight adjustment, late-fight adjustment. It's crazy how like effective this adjustment was from Josh Van. For like you said, not just taking him off balance, but creating openings to then rip him with his hands. And then ultimately, maybe this is just because Royval's it's raw dog, and there's only like 30 seconds left in the fight, 20 seconds.
At this point, you gotta have to think that he was like, shit, I'm losing this round right now. Because he's been clipped enough with these combos at this point where he's like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, and it's a bad look. You're falling over from these shots. Like all these things are happening. It's like, oh no, this is like last impression type stuff. Like there's a minute left. There was like a minute 20, I think, when he started throwing this. And then he just kind of throws caution to the wind. I don't know if it's because he's just a savage or if it's because, like you said, he's like, oh, I got to make something happen here. And what is that? I mean, you're forcing this guy to go out on a limb here, leave himself exposed to try to kill you. It's kill or be killed. And Josh Van thrives on that because he's a pocket fighter. Royval's not a pocket fighter. He's landed some things in the pocket where you're like, oh, that's nice, but it seems like it's almost just like happenstance. He happened to land it. And I mean that with no disrespect. But Josh Van lives in the pocket. He like understands the pocket. And with like 10 seconds left, he fucking cracks him over the top in the pocket and drops him. And it's like, well, he just even if he doesn't get the finish right here, there's only like 7 seconds left to finish him off the ground. That's it. That's the stamp on the round. What a fucking performance, dude. Insane.
And Royval knew it too. Because as soon as the bell was over, he was all, fuck.
Yes.
He just knew that was the one shot he had, and Van got the better of him. And that was it.
I mean, look at this. 23 seconds on the clock. You can see it in the background right here. I mean, just I mean, arguably he would have won the round, I think, even without the knockdown. But just
Yeah.
to put that final stamp on it, this was similar to the Gaethje versus Max Holloway. Not quite as insane because it wasn't a flatline KO with a second left. But as you hear the clacker, you're like, oh shit, it's about to go down right now. And then he cracks him with the knockdown inside. Like, I mean, just fucking so cool, man. I think the next picture shows him trying to land a follow-up shot, and you can see everybody in the background's going fucking crazy.
Look at Dana.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana. For 1 second there, he forgot he had to promote Crawford versus Canelo, dude, and he was just focusing on his organization. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Finally just injected him with the passion of...
Yeah. Everybody everybody wanted watching this fight.
Yeah, and by the way, round 2, 87 to 74, significant strikes in favor of Royval. Round 3, 86 to 78. So they did not slow down one bit.
So crazy.
Round
fight.
3.
Hey, look, if anybody didn't watch this, please go back, watch this fight. It was one of the best fights that I've ever seen. So good. Rich the Casual, you're in the background there producing. You have to go back and watch this fight, Rich. You would love it.
Yeah, and then how perfect that the next fight after this is the co-main event. The champ, the longtime champ, defending his belt yet again in their division. And Josh Van goes on the mic, who gives a fuck? I'm next. I want to see what happens with that. He's fought a lot of guys. He hasn't fought me. 3 weeks ago, this guy becomes ranked because he gets a knockout. They put him at 12, takes the fight on short notice to fight the number 1 contender, puts on the fight of the year, puts a stamp on it like that, calls out the champ who's fighting next.
So good.
And then they bring him in the cage to face off with Pantoja. It's perfect. This is what happens when the UFC fucking makes an effort with their match. I mean, this is what the sport is built off of.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's just these things align in fighting sometimes where you're like, man, it just feels like it's larger than life sometimes. Like, you can't, like you said, you can't write it any better. Like, this is what makes fighting so great, is that people like Josh Van can step in, and credit to Royval for even accepting the fight on like almost 2 weeks' notice when he's at this point of his career. That's a risk he doesn't need to take against a young killer like Van. But to have guys who can come in 23 years old, he bounces back from the Charles Johnson loss. He's just putting on exciting fights. He steps in, he gets the knockout on the last pay-per-view. He gets the call for this one. He steps in, comes in, takes out number 1, calls out the champ who's fighting next, a killer that nobody wants to, like... Is it too much? Is he biting off more than he can chew? Maybe.
But I'm here for it.
And again, he's still somehow finding himself in this position where it's a win-win. If he beats Pantoja, that's crazy.
What an amazing story, though, if he does beat Pantoja. And that's a thing, that the possibility is there. And
if he loses, he's only 23 years old. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. 23.
You know?
Holy smokes. Dude, that's crazy.
I mean, this is the type of shit that this is why we watch combat sports. It's shit like this.
Yes.
Doesn't get much better than this.
So good. All right.
So good.
We shall move on. We have a few fights left to cover. We'll and actually, I'm not even too sure exactly what fights we're covering, but I believe we are covering Dariush versus Moicano.
Skip it. Fuck it. Sorry, Rich. I know that's difficult. This fight kind of sucked. I don't really care about it. We're 45 minutes in.
We'll move on. Payton Talbott versus Lima.
This fight kicks ass. We can talk about this one.
Let's go then to Lima versus Talbot. Thoughts on this fight, Will?
I had Lima. There's some pictures of Amil and Moicano.
You did have him starting your parlay, actually, didn't you?
No, I had Terrance McKinney starting my parlay.
That's
Felt
right.
Pretty good after that one. But and then it was all for naught. But going into this, I thought Lima is kind of a complete package fighter, whereas we saw Talbot kind of get exposed a little bit. And I don't want to say, I know a lot of people were saying fraud check. I don't think it was a fraud check. I think Barcelos is a fucking tough out. Barcelos is a good fighter, but he did at least expose part of Talbot's game is lacking. And I thought Felipe Lima, we've seen, is a very complete fighter. I think he's very underrated as far as like notoriety goes, because he just hasn't been able to get fights. They booked this fight because they're like, nobody wants to fight either of these guys. So like, we're like, fuck it, make them fight each other. Yeah. But man, Talbot really bounced back. That's what you want to see from a prospect, man.
Dude, his scrambles were so good, right? Even in the very first takedown where he hits a Granby, to get himself in a better position. And I was like, well, this isn't the same guy.
No.
It's so good. But the urgency for positioning was there compared to Barcelo's fight.
Yeah, and like you said, good scrambles, and he never really. And granted, he's very good. He's well rounded, but it's not like he's a wrestler. He's not a D1 wrestler or anything crazy like that. But still, in those moments, he showed that his game is very much improving. He's clearly addressing that after the Barcelos fight, and that's what you want to see. And then on the feet, I thought Lima looked very good on the feet. I was surprised that he was shooting so much. I mean, obviously that he probably saw that as the path of least resistance coming into this fight, right? But at a certain point, you need to make those adjustments and say, ditch that. His counter wrestling is very good. Surprisingly, hey, we need a plan B here. Let's start mixing in some of these combinations. And when he did, he was landing. But they alluded. I didn't hear it, but Joe alluded to after the first round, his corner told Lima like, "Hey man, you're like striking well. Like you don't need to take this guy down." And he said something about his power, and they were like, "It's like, oh, I didn't hear it." But Joe said that he said something to his corner about Talbott's power, and it's like, oh, maybe he felt the shot because we've seen Talbott just smoke dudes. So
yeah,
maybe that's why,
possibility. But very good job from Talbott. Great balance, great urgency, great scrambles, a lot of improvement.
And we talk about it all the time. How many times do we talk about like horrible cage cutting and things like that? Yeah. Talbott walking him down, heavy pressure, and not letting him off the hook. That was nice to see. Choosing the right weapons when he does get him backed up against the fence. Nice stutter step, off tempo stuff to land his right hand. And Lima's good, man. This was a great fight. I really liked
fight. It was a great test for both men, and props to Talbott. Props to Talbott. He looked fantastic.
Props to Talbott. Yeah.
All right, we shall move on. We had Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop, versus Jack Hermansson. And actually, now that I think about it, I have not received a Jack Hermansson update in the last 15 minutes. So I know the UFC was on the money. Every 15 minutes sending out updates about Jack Hermansson. I haven't received one recently, so I hope he's okay. But
yeah, he should be good. And we can show the clip of this one. We want to see this.
Yeah, let's see it.
Graphic content warning. If you want to watch somebody get murked, here it
Somebody's
comes.
soul leave their body.
Yes,
then
twice.
This is all right, here we go. Boom. Big left hook. Head bounces off. And
hammer
then
fist is nasty.
The hammer fist, dude.
If he dies, he dies. Let's see that one more time. Left hook.
Go. But you know what?
Out
it
cold.
Was that
Bang.
right. He didn't finish with the right. He showed the right, but his full intention was to step in with that big left hook once Jack Hermansson opened and reacted to that right. Go saying pronounce Hobocop. No R in Brazil.
Fuck, that's good, dude.
That is. I'm gonna start saying that Hobocop.
Yes.
But dude, what a beautiful finish from Rodrigues coming in, big hammer fist at the end.
Nasty.
Hermansson was out for about 5 minutes.
It was bad, dude. I mean, the first shot, you see when someone's legs and arms go outstretched and they fall straight back like that, you're like, oh, that's bad. He's unconscious as he's falling. And then his head smacks the mat when he lands super hard. And then Hobocop just walks up to him. And then just fucking the hammer fist from the gods, dude. I mean, nasty. And then they got on my boy Herb Dean, and it's like,
yeah, look, I know.
out,
and they were like, whoa, where was Herb? And, it should have been stopped. That was unnecessary last one. Then I was like, man, they're really going to town on Herb Dean on this one.
Yeah.
Like, really going to town. And then they show the replay. They're like, okay, he had his arm around his waist. He was trying to pull him away. He tried.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was any worse than, Topuria's 2 hammer fists on my boy Oliveira, right?
Yeah. To his credit, though, we don't have a great shot of Herb Dean running like he's being chased by a zombie, trying to prevent.
But you saw it on the replay. You can see it on the replay.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Where Herb was like, no,
yeah.
The dreads are like moving all over, like he's trying to get there.
Shout out
But
Herb.
RoboCop just stares down at Hermansson as he's laying down there lifeless.
Dude,
still decides to lift up his arm. He still has an opportunity to stop.
Dude, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, he cracks him. He goes down. The way he walked over, I was
cries
like,
blood tears. as he's walking away.
Dude, when he walked up to him before landing the hammer fist, he's unconscious on the ground. He puts his hand up, and I was like, "Oh dang, what a walk off!" And then he just proceeds to walk over him and drop it, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! He did not need to do that."
Hobo hey, take it easy, huh, pal?
Hey, he's like, "Are we all pleasing the Just Bleed gods today?" Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again real quick. Watch how much time he spends after he lands the shot. He's obviously out cold, and he walks up.
All right,
to
here
land
we go.
this.
So
Bam.
right,
Like,
boom,
okay.
left hook, and dude, he took the slow steps. He almost like sidestepped a little bit just to get the perfect angle too.
Dude, that was me. That's a live look at me when Katie yells there's a spider or something, and I walk over with a shoe and just bam, hit that spider. The spider had no chance of getting me.
The spider's just looking up at you like, no, dude. Katie comes in like her being just pulls you away. You're like, all right. One's enough.
God.
One's enough. Oh, man. Hey, shout out
Atomic. We're not going to read that one. We're not going to read that one. I appreciate the setup, but I saw it a mile away. Not going for it.
And yes, but what a finish from Rodrigues. We know he carries power. We've seen it over and over again. He can put anybody to sleep in that division.
Oh, yeah. Big time, man.
All right.
Love to see it. Hate to see someone go down that bad, but damn.
Yeah, dude, Hermansson, we're nearing the end, huh, Hermansson?
Yeah, I do like him, too. I like Hermansson.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So, you know who else likes him? Hobocop. Okay?
Hobocop.
That didn't stop him.
Yeah.
That didn't stop him. All right. We also had Jose Delgado versus Hyder Amil. Hyder Amil coming in undefeated, 11-0 into this fight. Jose Delgado with a good record of his own, man, 10-1. Hyder Amil just threw caution to the wind, huh?
Bro, he's another guy that's just all gas, no brakes, man.
From the Bay
You live
Area.
by the sword, you die by it, huh? Yeah, from the Bay Area. He's local for me. I've seen him a few times. He's always at the Gilbert Melendez events, just walking around saying hi to people, taking photos and stuff. Seems like a great dude. Is in some bangers. But, man, the MMA Lab is very good, man. It's a great gym, and Delgado, they clearly understand transitional fighting. But yeah, we can real quick, Rich. This one also they posted the clip. Shout out UFC for just posting all the fights cage side footage so we can show them on the stream. Hopefully we can show them on the stream. We'll see if this gets flagged. But let's watch this one real quick. Bam, big knee drops him, and then some big elbows.
Good read by Delgado because there had been a few combos before that where as Amil is stepping back, he goes up to that high guard, right, just to reset. And on this one, he goes 1, 2, high guard, steps in with the knee right up the middle this time, and drops Hyder Amil.
Yeah, I mean, the way he punched into that combination.
He said rare words on this show. Shout out UFC.
Yeah. How crazy is that? We talk about the UFC every week, and we're just constantly shitting on them.
Hey, dude, I'm not constantly shitting on them.
True. I've been a debutante. But no, fuck that. It's them. They're the problem, not me.
Hey, shout out UFC, okay?
Yeah, but shout out UFC.
That's so funny.
But this one, like you said, Hyder Amil, there's some pictures I put in there, Rich, of just like a step-by-step thing here. And long combination. He throws the right hand. Hyder slips it almost like a shoulder roll. He comes to the left to the body to get him to stand in place. You're not going to slip a punch to the body, right? Can we go back real quick, Rich? So he goes one more. Cool. So yeah, left hand to the body. So he throws the right hand, he slips it, shoulder rolls it, left hand to the body now. Because if you throw that to the head, he's just going to switch that side, right? And he's going to roll it that way. So it goes to the body to get him stationary. And then he comes back up top. There's the next picture. The double up, the left hook off of the jab to the body, which is a nice combo. And that now that he's stationary, like you said, he has to go high guard. And then he just grabs him while he's stationary and high guard. Bam, splits it with the knee. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to see it because I love Hyder, but I mean, just really cool.
It was a beautiful setup.
Great sequence. And then the follow-up shots, the elbows to the head on the ground were fucking brutal. And Hyder complained because he's a dog, but it was a good stoppage.
Very good stoppage. Those two elbows, definitely a good stoppage.
Massive shots.
I think that was Goddard too, right?
Yes. Whoops, I stretched.
Hey, well, he got this one. He got to this one. Actually, he didn't get to. He still got elbowed twice. So
yeah.
Got elbowed twice on this one. The 2 hammer fist to Oliveira. Goddard. Hey.
But he wasn't. He was still kind of fighting in guard and stuff. Like he decided to call it after that second elbow. It's not like he.
And it was a good stop. It was a very good stop.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna skip Cortez and we're gonna go Terrance McKinney versus Borshchev.
Yeah, and we're at 55 minutes, so we can breeze through some of this too. I mean, it was a quick fight, anyways. But shout out Terrance McKinney if you haven't seen our interview with him. We did an interview with him on the channel. Nice guy. And we can see this one too because the UFC showed it.
Beautiful.
Well, that's a little quick, but immediately takes him down. Fucking obviously you want to take on Borshchev. Takes him down, goes for an anaconda, and then isn't quite getting it. It looks bad. He collects the legs. It looks great. And then isn't quite getting it, so he just mounts him and just chokes the fuck out of him. And Slavas Claus is trying to kick to just keep him.
Look at Tagnoni. Tagnoni ready at all times.
Ready with the ref cam. But you see that a lot, the bicycle kicking and stuff, trying to just keep your cardiovascular system pumping blood through your body. But it's not enough. You saw that in the Merab fight when Merab lost to Ricky Simone, I think it was, right?
Yeah. Hey, props. Terrance McKinney, though. Another first round finish. My guy does not like getting past the first round, huh?
No. And this was sick, man, because this shows great game planning from Terrance McKinney, too. It's not like he just went out there and tried to blitz him with punches, you know? Like, he was like, fuck this. I'm taking this guy down. I'm choking his ass out. It was great.
Evie saying, hee, the little legs. Dude. Hey, when Borshchev sees this, Evie, that's insult to injury once he reads that comment, okay?
Yeah.
But all right, what are the fights we're going to cover, Will?
I think there's only one more we're covering, which is the Niko Price fight.
Price fight. So we had Jacob Smith versus Niko Price.
Yeah, Smith is a hot prospect. I mean, just they said he was the biggest favorite in UFC history coming into this one. I'm like, damn, dude, Niko Price.
Yeah,
but I get it. Niko Price has been put out a few times by the ghost of Robbie Lawler included, but Smith just immediately cracks him, hurts him bad. Price doing good job surviving off his back. He's one of those guys who's always been very crafty off of his back. He has that the Randy Brown knockout, the hammer fist off his back where he knocked him out. Trying to threaten with submissions, just moving, getting pummeled a little bit, but then they get up, and then and Smith is like out of gas, and I was like, oh Christ, this guy is the biggest betting favorite. He maybe just blew his wad trying to finish Niko Price and is out of gas. And Niko Price starts putting them hands on him. And you're like, holy shit, dude, what's happening? And then he's just like, I'm just going to keep kicking the guy who desperately wants to take me down. And he cracks him, I think, at the end of the first, right? He puts down Niko Price. Niko Price got a little sloppy there at the end of the round. He sticks him with a jab, puts him down. Second round, throws like a naked low kick, gets taken down off of it. Fighting well off his back again, switching from turtle to go back off his back. But eventually he goes to turtle, and Smith snatches that neck. Gets him on the transition as he's trying to put his hands on the mat and stand up.
Yep. Props to Smith there.
He's good, man.
He's very good.
Yeah.
All right. And I believe
also, I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but I mean, there's no disrespect, Smith. I don't know if you were doing it on purpose. I'd like to think you weren't. I don't think he necessarily was. But some nasty eye raking in guard from Smith on top. Pretty bad. It reminded me of Paul Harris versus Jake Shields, where he's just sitting, or the Leech did it against, who was it, Jake Matthews? Where you're covering the mouth, but it's like, hey, man, they're getting in the eyes. And he got warned by it, by the Mark Smith. And then he went back to it, and you could see Niko Price was like, ah! And he like complained about it for a second. And it's like, hey, can we maybe do something about that? That's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, for sure. Big advantage. All right.
Yeah, raking the eye is not good.
That's it. Those were all the fights we're going to cover, but we do have a moment of silence. We lost quite a bit in this one, I think, Will.
Yeah. Big moment of silence. So if anybody can just put their heads down. We lost Denise versus Tafa. Tafa withdrew. So then, they put in Hines on his UFC debut, and that was it was fine. It was like a fine like regional heavyweight bout. And yeah, Genevieve says, wasn't this the fight with the grabbing the fence? Yes. Doesn't grabbing the fence can get you bit? Classic. But yeah, we lost the Denise Taffa fight. Got a somewhat fun heavyweight fight. The bar's low, but I actually enjoyed watching it. Cedric Dumbass was supposed to fight Jackson McVeigh, and then he withdrew because he couldn't get his ankle bracelet off because he's got court down in Florida for, I think, what is it this time? He's got like a bunch of charges.
Dude, I can't keep up with this guy.
Yeah, long list. Crazy that they booked him while they're like, yeah, you got an ankle monitor on? Whatever, we'll get that off in time. Don't worry about it. And they're like, oh, wait, no, we can't? Oh, shit. It's like, hey, maybe he shouldn't have been booked in the first place, you fucking idiots.
Exactly. Hey, shout out
Royval. Yeah. Yeah, shout out UFC.
There's another one.
Royval was supposed to fight Manel Kopp, my boy, and then he pulls out because he broke his foot.
Another missed opportunity.
And then to add insult to literal injury, Josh Vance says after the fight, yeah, I came in here with a broken toe. I broke it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Manel. No. And then we lost Paulo Costa versus Kopylov. They got rebooked for another event. Would actually be a fun fight. I believe
that's UFC 318, I think now, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Who got extra monies, Will?
Who got bonuses? Ilia Topuria got one for knocking out Del Bronx. Also, can we just talk for a second about how prevalent the custom shorts are being used now and being made? I know they're not all fan favorites.
So sick.
Some of them are misses in my opinion. I don't even care though. They could be 70% bad. At least we're getting custom shorts. You see Angela Hills, by the way, with the aliens? It's so cool.
Hey, shout out her grandparents.
Yeah. So cool. But yeah, so Ilia got a bonus. And then obviously Fight of the Night went to, Robocop also got a bonus for killing somebody. And then Fight of the Night was
They're also giving him Hermansson's show money because he doesn't need it anymore. He's not around. His soul's gone, dude.
Yeah. That's a tough one to come back from. But yeah, Royval versus Van obviously got Fight of the Night, probably Fight of the Year. And then Dana said that they're going to give Royval his win bonus as well, which is cool.
Oh, okay. No shit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's almost like when they put fun fights out, it incites the people who are supposed to promote the fight to actually care, put some effort in. And it like I said, it's like the Grinch. When he the heart wiggles, Like
I didn't have a Grinch heart on my bingo card for today. If anybody did, congratulations. You might have just hit bingo.
Yeah, that's Dana watching the Josh Van fight. Rekindling his love for something he now hates, seemingly.
Well, hey. Oh, by the way, did you watch the Jake Paul fight?
No.
Dude, I watched it.
Why would you watch that?
I was junior. Because if Jake Paul won that fight, he's now going to be ranked by the WBC, which means that he will actually have a shot at a title after this. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Coming in at 39 years old.
I was going to say,
he did not do very much at all until the 8th round.
Dude, he didn't do much in his career even before he retired.
Nah, dude, he did. He did a lot of cocaine and he did a lot of,
but a lot of disappointment. I mean,
yeah.
No disrespect. Your dad's
the announcer's the best. His dad is one of the best ever to ever lace him up.
So cool.
The announcers will go hard on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. when they're like, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is going up against a problem child. His dad probably thinks so. He's not the real problem child. My child's the real problem child.
Oh God!
After being arrested for this, dude, they go off on his rap sheet, bro. And they're like, damn. Anyway, and they keep on going. So good. Damn. All right. Hey, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Evie saying, Ramiro, why? Boo, no. Sorry, I had to watch it. Shout out Evie. Shout out Ghost. We also had Atomic 3301. Shout out to you. Sam H, Jasmine, Pepper. Did I miss anybody?
Austin was there. Shout out Summer Camp.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Makes it very fun whenever you join us live to chat up about all the different fights. And thank you for anybody else that might be joining us after. And if you don't like watching, but you like listening, you have other options outside of YouTube, right, Will?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. If you just want the audio, But like you saw, we're starting to be able to show a lot more clips. So we definitely suggest you watching on YouTube because then you also get to participate in the chat and be part of the show and kind of help drive the show in a certain direction and get your points heard. And it makes the show better because we can then talk to you guys. You guys point out things that we didn't see, and it's just more conversational. It's a lot more fun to do, which also I think improves the show. But then, yeah, if you want to interact on socials, follow us on everything, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. It's just Story the Fight. Go to storythefight.com. It'll list all of them. Hit follow. We're steadily climbing.
Yep.
Shout out all you guys.
Love this community, though. Thank you for joining us every single weekend. And you know what? Shout out to Richard Bustos as well for being our producer in the background there, making it all possible. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another week. Story of the Fight.